Hello. It's been a while, but I am not going to be making any more apology videos whenever there's a break in my upload schedule, because this is the reality of Spoonie life. Things happen, things snowball, pile up on top of each other, and unfortunately, this channel is not at the top of my priorities list. I wish I had more energy and time and could make it a higher priority, but it's not paying my bills. And honestly, I don't think I ever want it to pay my bills. But that's another topic for another day. This channel is something that I want to do for advocacy and for building awareness, but it's not ever something that I want to do for a job. So take that for what you will. So you may notice this is not where I usually film from. My home office slash craft room is a disaster area right now. I'm rearranging some things in there, and some things have been piling up because the layout was not working for me, and so it's been a disaster for a while. So once I get that sorted, I don't know if I'll move back in there for filming or if I'll stay out here. I kind of like it out here. This chair is a lot more comfortable and it does not squeak when I move. So those are pluses. If I stay out here, I can tell you I keep getting distracted by my monitor here. That bookcase, I've got to do something with it. It's driving me crazy. So we'll have to see. If you have any ideas, things I should do, or if I should go back to my old location once it's back in order, let me know. If you have ideas of what I should do with the bookcase, or my backdrop, or my background. I don't think I'll go green screen, though I could. You know, drop them in the comments. We can talk about my set. I can also say I like filming out here because I also share my home office with my husband, and I have found that I am very self-conscious filming in front of other people. I'm not really sure why. I love public speaking. I used to do it quite a lot, and obviously I'm filming things that are going out to theoretically a wide audience. I don't have that many followers right now, but theoretically these videos are viewable by, you know, everyone on the internet. But I get very self-conscious if there's somebody else in the room. I feel more relaxed out here. So and I think it may be because the final product is an edited version that goes out, where what's seen while I'm filming is a lot. And my husband's great. He's never been you know, critical or anything, but it just makes me really self-conscious to have somebody in the room, and I've gone to some lengths to set up all my tech, so I don't need anyone to help me film. So I don't know what that says about me. But anyway, so let me know what you think. Stay out here or go back to the office once it's set up. So where have I been? Well, spring of 2021 has, wow, it's had some challenges. There's the allergy season that is always just a thing. And the weather has been, wow, ever since the snowpocalypse that the entire country knows about, it seems like there's been nothing but rain. I've lived in Texas since 1979, and I don't think I have ever seen this much rain in north central Texas in the spring. It's been just crazy. And my migraines, one of my triggers is weather fronts. So my migraines have gone up in frequency. And that, of course, affects my sleep, which then affects my fibromyalgia. And then I'm not sure this has anything to do with my chronic illnesses. It may just be a getting older thing. So you young people out there, just a forewarning for you. I slept wrong and developed tendonitis in a shoulder, and it almost froze. And so I've been having to work to get that range of motion back. So that's been fun. Oh, it's just great. And then I've been having a bunch of oral surgeries. I've mentioned my lovely lisp in other videos. I still have a temporary appliance. I have a couple more procedures left to get the implants finished up, and then hopefully we'll be done with that for a while. So that's been fun, and surgery is always an insult to the body, which flares the autoimmune system, and just, it's always fun. There's been a lot of changes at my work, nothing bad, but brain fog and fatigue, especially when you're already flaring, it just adds an extra dimension to the challenge of dealing with changes at work, and the stress. So it's a thing. It's definitely a thing, and I've been demonstrating a spectacular failure to pace, which is actually the topic of my video today. So I'll get into that in a little bit. I have a confession to make. I always love that when a content creator goes, I have a confession. But my confession is that I'm a perfectionist. I've actually had a lot I wanted to say, while all this has been going on. I've started writing scripts about, how the flares and everything has affected my life, and especially with work. But I always feel like I can't film if I don't have the energy to do my hair and makeup, if my set isn't right. And of course my office has been a disaster. But like I can't film if everything's not right. And it keeps me from creating content, and it's the wrong attitude, I know, but I watch all this content with creators that have great sets and fantastic editing, and I hold myself to that standard, and I know that it's wrong. These elite YouTubers, have staff. They've been doing it, and I know when they started out that they didn't have this slick operation that and I'm just starting out, and I should absolutely not hold myself to that standard, but I do, and I know it doesn't make any sense, and it's even worse than that, because since I'm trying to raise awareness for disability and chronic illness, taking this approach means that all I show you are my good days. I'm never showing you the reality. So yeah, it's something I need to work on. I definitely need to work on it. So as I work through this character trait that I have, I hope you'll extend me a little grace if I actually manage to convince myself to film on days where I don't have, the look I want, and maybe don't even have the set dressed the way I want it. That you'll have a little grace for me. That's a little scary, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I need to definitely work on that, because I think the content's more important than making sure I have everything just right. So we'll have to work on that. I do have some videos in my editing queue about weight loss and body positivity. I actually filmed those back when I filmed the ones that I've already posted. I just haven't finished editing them. So I do have some content already in development. And then I have some scripts, as I mentioned, that I've already started writing about some of the stuff that's been going on for the last few months. So I want to finish those up and get those filmed. So I'm hoping the content will become more consistent. While I would love to try for a weekly posting schedule, let's be realistic, and to have realistic expectations for myself. I think I should actually try for an every other week or twice a month type of upload schedule. I have read and seen that the algorithm gods like consistency more than frequency. So I think I'll start there, and then if I can actually build up a content queue that makes me more confident with it, we may be able to increase the frequency. But I think that it's more important that I not try to overcommit myself and try to do something that I actually can maintain. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do, and try to get back in a routine where I'm filming consistently and uploading consistently. And so we'll see how that goes. But hopefully you'll be seeing more consistent content from me. Whew, need a drink. Wow. What is pacing? Well, if you have not seen or read the story from Christine Miserandino about the spoon theory, or you're not already familiar with it, the short version is that spoons are a metaphor for units of energy, and those units of energy then are spent for any activity that we do through the day, whether that's work, school, eating, getting ready for the day, so showering, brushing your teeth, fixing a meal. Even eating a meal could take a unit of energy. Some activities take multiple units of energy, some only take one. So that's kind of the basis of it. And people who do not have chronic illness, throughout their day, they can actually get more spoons. They can take a break from their activities and they'll get spoons back. Eating a meal might actually get spoons for them instead of spending spoons. So for them, through the course of the day, they're expending spoons, but they're also getting spoons back. So they never usually have to think a whole lot about their energy expenditure. They go through their day, they do the things they want to do, and they might have to take a break and rest a little bit if they've done something strenuous, but they really don't have to think very much about day-to-day activities, eating, bathing, dressing, that kind of thing, because they know, or they never even think about it, but they'll get energy back as they go through their day. Whereas people with a chronic illness don't really get energy back throughout the day. In fact, there's another analogy that's used that is like the phone charger cord is frayed, and so your battery doesn't charge properly. And so you're never at full charge, and the charging is very weak. And so it's kind of a blend of analogies or metaphors, if you will. So when a person with chronic illness starts the day, they get a certain number of spoons, and they have to budget their spoons for everything that they need to do that day. It takes a spoon to take a shower, a spoon to get dressed, a spoon to fix and eat breakfast, 6 spoons for work, etc. And they know that they're not going to get any new spoons through the day. So however many spoons they have, that's it. So pacing, in a nutshell, is really that process of saying, okay, what activities can I do with the spoons I have today? So it's really that budgeting of activities for the spoons you have. Because if you try to do more activities than you have spoons for, you're essentially borrowing spoons from tomorrow, which means you're going to have less spoons tomorrow, but also because you're borrowing, what you're going to do is you're going to put yourself into a flare. And a flare is really just kind of like your conditions just flare up. So you feel sick, you feel more fatigue, basically all of your symptoms get worse. So you start the next day off with less spoons and more symptoms, and to the point that sometimes you're bedridden the next day because you've overdone it that day. So it's really that spoon budgeting process, and it's a little bit more complicated than just so on a weekday or on a weekend, I know that I can do 1 hour's worth of housework with the spoons I have. Well, it's not even just that I can do an hour's worth of housework. I can't do it all at once either, because doing it all at once is just as bad as doing 3 hours worth. So I have to not only limit myself to what I know I can do without borrowing from the next day, but also breaking it up throughout the day, because you can't overload it all at once. So that's really kind of the nutshell of pacing. But because life can never be fair, you also don't know how many spoons you're going to get from day to day. You could be having a weather front come in, and you're going to have a migraine tomorrow. So you're going to start with fewer spoons than you usually do. Or you catch a cold. Or tomorrow's a good day and you get more spoons. You just never know how many spoons you're going to get. So your condition throws you curveballs. And the one that just drives me crazy is when you wake up with fewer spoons and you don't know why. I hate that one. It's like, if I know that I've overdone it and I'm paying for it, I'm actually okay with that. Sometimes you make a conscious decision. I want to go to an event, and going to that event, it's going to cost me. I'm going to spend the next 2 days in bed. Okay, I really want to go to that event. I'll pay the price for it. When I make a decision to do something, that's cool. Or if I know a weather front's coming in, I know I'm going to have a bad day. I can prepare for it. It's fine. When I don't even know why I'm having a bad day, it drives me crazy. But that's the reality. Sometimes you just don't know why. Your body, your condition, it's reacting to something that you don't recognize, and it threw you a curveball. And all you can do is roll with it. So really, pacing is about having contingency plans and being able to roll with whatever you get thrown that day. So you have a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, a plan E, and a plan F it. I came up with that just today and I love it. You get down to your plan F it, and that That just says it all right there. So that's it. That's chronic illness in a nutshell. And what's bad is when you have friends and family that don't understand, because you can have a really good day and you're able to go do things, and they see you out doing things and enjoying your life on a good day when you woke up with lots of spoons, and then they see you a week later and you don't have a lot of spoons and they want to go shopping or go have lunch, and you have to say no because you don't have the spoons that day, and they're like, but last week you were able to do that just fine. You're just making it up. They don't understand, and that's really hard. I'm so lucky. All of my close friends either have chronic illness or they get it. And so and we all know the code words. And so I literally can say, I don't have the spoons today. And I can even cancel last minute and just say, I'm out of spoons. And they're all of them are like, okay, is there anything I can do? And no judgment, no repercussions. And it's, they can be disappointed, they can be sad, but they understand. And that is just fantastic. So for all of you out there, all of my fellow Spoonies, my biggest wish for you is that you find that. If you have family that is supportive in that way, that's fantastic. If you don't have family that's supportive that way, I hope for you that you find chosen family and friends and get that support network, because it makes so much difference in your life. It just does. So yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about advocacy and awareness about disability and chronic illness, because so many people who don't live with this or don't have a close friend or family who lives with it, so they don't really see it, they don't really see the day-to-day, don't understand. They don't really get it, because they think, because it's so variable, when they do see it, that somebody's faking or it's not real or whatever they think. I don't know. But if you get to see it and get an insight into it, maybe you'll start to have some understanding and some compassion, and not pity. None of us want your pity. I see people with disabilities and they go, oh my God, that's so awful. I'm so sorry. We don't need your pity. We really don't. I don't have a bad life. I have a really good life. I have days that suck. I have days that suck really bad. But my life is really good. And I don't need your pity. What I need is you to understand that I sometimes need a little extra understanding, a little extra time for things. I can bail on things at the last minute, and not because I want to, but because I have to. That, if we're going out, I need to know that I'll have a place to sit down and rest. That there's not going to be a lot of walking involved in whatever the activity is. I need you to ask me what kind of things I need you to take into account. I need you to ask me what I need. I don't need your pity. That's what I need. And that's what most people with disabilities need. Not just invisible disabilities, but disabilities in general. We don't need your pity. And for God's sake, please stop telling us that we're inspiring. There's nothing inspiring about making it through the day. I'm not climbing Mount Everest, for God's sake. We need you to be understanding. We need you to be accepting. We need you to be including us in life. Don't exclude us. Find ways to include us. Ask us what we need in order to be included. That's what we're asking. Really, that's it. But yeah, most of us have pretty good lives. We're okay. It may not be the life we had, but it's still a good life. Yeah. Still a good life. So, I think that's about all I have to say about that. I'll sign off. And, speaking of sign-offs, anyone who's been following me will be happy to know that the era of the corny, cringy quotes and one-liners from all the movies and the everything else has come to an end, and I have settled on my sign-off. So in the words of the most outstanding philosophers of my generation, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. Bye, y'all.